An anthology of readings of Almighty God's words. God's utterances to the entire universe. The 37th Utterance. Throughout the ages, in all the work I have done, every stage of it has involved my appropriate work methods. For this reason, my beloved people have been made purer and purer, and more suitable for my use. For the same reason, however, the unfortunate thing is that as my methods of work increase, the number of people decreases, and this causes them to sink into deep contemplation. Of course, this work of today is still no exception, and most people have once again been caught up in contemplation. As such, due to changes to my methods, there are still some who will have to withdraw. It may be described this way. This was something predestined by me, but not something I did. Since creation, so many people have fallen, and so many have lost their way as a result of the methods of my work. However, I care not what people do, whether they feel that I am not affectionate or too cruel. Regardless of whether their understanding is correct or not, I avoid providing an explanation. Let us first have fellowship about the main point of this discussion, so that everyone may gain a thorough understanding, to prevent them from not understanding why they suffer. I will not compel people to suffer in silence like mutes. Rather, I will describe everything clearly to keep them from complaining against me. One day, I will cause everyone to utter sincere praise in the midst of their chastisement. Is this method agreeable to you? Does that meet people's requirements? In the prologue to the era of chastisement, I shall first tell people the general meaning behind this era, so that they do not offend me. Namely, I will make arrangements for my work that shall be changed by no one, and I will absolutely not let off lightly anyone who alters them. I will condemn them. Will you remember that? These are all vaccinations. In the new methods, all people must first comprehend that the first and foremost goal to achieve is to gain an understanding of their own actual conditions. Before having gained some understanding of oneself, no one will be allowed to speak carelessly in the church, and I shall surely chastise anyone who violates this rule. From this day forward, all apostles shall be listed in the churches and forbidden from moving here and there at will. That will bear little fruit. They all seemed to be fulfilling their duties, but were actually deceiving me. Despite what happened, today it is all in the past, and must not be brought up again. Henceforth, the term apostle shall be abolished and never used again, so that all people may come down from their positions and get to know themselves. This is, of course, for the sake of their salvation. A position is not a crown. It is merely a term of address. Do you get my meaning? Those who lead the churches will still live the church life within their own churches. though, of course, this is not a rigid rule. When necessary, they may visit churches in coordination with other former apostles. The most crucial thing is that the fellowship of the churches must be increased, unless none of their members is actually living the life of the church. Nevertheless, I must emphasize that you must all be united in self-knowledge and in rebellion against the great red dragon. This is my will. How much people say is not important. Rather, it is most vital that all my people be able to come together as one, for that is the only way to truly bear witness. In the past, people all said they would come to know themselves. Yet I have uttered countless words. And how much have you come to understand of yourselves? The higher one's position, the harder it is for one to put oneself aside, the greater one's hopes, and the more one will suffer when being chastised. This is my salvation of humankind. Do you understand? Do not simply take this at face value. Doing so would be too shallow and have no value. Do you understand the underlying connotations here? If members of the church are truly capable of understanding themselves, then this will demonstrate that those types of people truly love me. That is to say, if you do not break bread with the people, you will not understand their hardships. How do you interpret this saying? In the end, I will cause all people to know themselves during their time of chastisement, and make them sing and laugh while it is happening. Will you truly have the faith to satisfy me? So, what should you do in your practice? From now on, the affairs of each church will be handled by the appropriate persons in that church, and apostles will merely live the life of the church. This is called experiencing life. Do you understand? Before chastisement has officially come upon humanity, I shall first do the work of greeting on people so that in the end they may all satisfy me. Even for those who are going to withdraw, they must suffer and finish bearing testimony before leaving. Otherwise, I will not let them off lightly. This shows my disposition of intolerance of people's offenses, as well as my disposition of accomplishing what I say. As such, I will have fulfilled my promise that I mean what I say. What I say shall be done, and what I do shall last forever. As the words leave my mouth, so does my spirit begin his work. Who would dare to willfully play with the toys they hold in their hands? Everyone must deferentially and obediently accept my chastisement. Who could escape it? Could there be another path but mine? Today I have allowed you to be upon the earth, and you rejoice. Tomorrow I shall allow you into heaven, and you will give praise. The day after that, I shall put you below the ground, where you will be chastised. Are these not all requirements of my work? Who does not suffer misfortune and receive blessings for the sake of my requirements? Could you be the exceptions? As my people upon the earth, what should you do for the sake of my requirements and my will? Can it be that you verbally praise my holy name while detesting me in your heart? Doing work for me and satisfying my heart, as well as understanding yourselves and rebelling against the great red dragon. These are no easy tasks, and you must pay the price of doing so. When I say price, what do you think I mean? I will not discuss this now, and I will not give direct answers to people. Rather, I allow them to mull it over by themselves, and afterward to answer my questions practically by way of their actions and behavior. Are you able to do that?